Hello everyone, hope you're well on this Sunday afternoon. Still praying for rain. We need rain so bad. I'm going to talk about a couple of different things here. I'm going to talk about how ATMs, the ATM machines are being removed from certain large gas stations. I'm going to talk about that and what that might mean. Also, the weather, the heat, it just feels different, especially this year. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on that and what we might be able to do about it. All right, I also have a very good passage that I'm going to share with you here as well, so stay tuned for that. But first, again, we're back in the near 100 degrees today. It is a little more overcast, so it's a little more bearable, and definitely still humid out here. But everything is so dry. We're hoping, praying for rain. We were supposed to get some last 2 nights, last 2 days. Nothing. It's just hit and miss. You know, some folks got some. We didn't. But give you an idea how the ground, everything is just dry. This usually looks more like darker red clay, but it's just dirt and dust. And the grass is typically, this grass is typically green. And if you see, I mean, it's just very brown in a lot of places. But yeah, it's just crunchy. Anyway, and the garden, like I said yesterday, the garden is struggling really bad. We're doing what we can. We're watering, but we don't get some rain soon. I don't know. You know, we've still been getting okra. We've been getting beans, bush beans, some peas. We've been able to get what else? A little bit of squash, some zucchini. Like I said, the okra's coming in the best right now, and we have some hope with cucumbers. We had a huge crop of cucumbers last year. Miss Dawg made a bunch of pickles, and so hoping for that again, but I don't know. This is rough. But first thing I'm going to cover is Wells Fargo. Miss Dawg saw this story. Wells Fargo Bank is removing the ATM machines in Quick Trip gas stations. Now, Quick Trip, QT I call it, is real big here in a lot of the Southeast. If you're not familiar with it, it's like a large gas station. They have a convenience store inside as well, and they usually have these ATM machines in there, and they're removing them all. So my first thought is this is just part of a gradual effort to get you away from cash, spending cash, using cash. They also, what I've noticed also in these types of gas stations, more and more they're putting these self-check little stations in there as well, and they're card only. You can only use a debit card or a credit card. So I'm noticing that more and more. I mean, it's quicker to do, but I still like to use my cash. I still wait. You know, a human checks me out and everything. I don't know, how long is that going to go? How long is that going to last? You know, but you know, what else could they be? I think it's part of a gradual plan to go cashless. To go cashless. I really do. If you notice, more and more businesses are going to that, where they're not accepting cash, or they say they aren't. You know, it is still a form of legal tender. They still should take it. You can push them on that. Now it's up to you. But legal tender is legal. You know, they should take it. At the very least, don't do business with them. That's the way I look at it. You know, but I think it's a gradual plan. They want to disappear not only cash, but part of that, I believe, is disappearing the brick and mortar bank locations. So bank branches are disappearing from the landscape if you haven't noticed. At least from what I can tell, they are little by little. They're going away. So it's going to become more difficult to access and withdraw cash. Let me know what you think. Are you noticing the same thing? I think it's just part of what they have planned for us. All right. But use it. Spend your cash. Let's try to do what we can to keep it in circulation. Because I believe if we go cashless, if we're totally cashless, in my opinion, now, the jig's up. I think that's a whole different world right there. That is, we are in. That's it. Think about the control that can come with that. That will come with that. I mean, really. So I'm sure that's the goal. I'm sure that's the goal. Right? The heat, y'all. This weather is different. And we've been saying even in the winter, the last year or so, the weather seems very different. What is going on? Let me know. We can't be the only one thinking like this. And this summer, it's been the heat. And not just feeling hot. It's the way the sun feels. It feels different. And speaking from people we spend a lot of time outdoors. Not just on the weekend. I know in my job, I spend a good part of the day outdoors. Not all the time. I'm in and out of a car, so I see clients, I see people. So a good bit of that time we're outdoors. And I'm speaking to them outside. Or just somewhere in the community, or at a park, or wherever. This past Friday, I was knocking on a door trying to see a client. And I was waiting on him to come out. And it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The sun was in full force. And I tell you, y'all, I stood there for about a minute or so, waiting on him to come out, if he was going to come out. And it was just about unbearable. There is a tree right near the front door, so I kind of shifted over there in the shade to where I could bear it. And that is, it didn't feel like that a year ago or 2 years ago. It truly didn't. And I know it's not an age thing either. It's not that we're getting old and the sun hits you. Yeah, it might hit you a little different, but we didn't feel this a year or two ago, and it didn't make that big of a difference. We're a year or two older, so we spend a good bit of time outside. This feels different. It's like your skin. It's like it stings your skin. Especially this summer, I did some last summer, where when I'm out here and we're working in the yard or working anywhere back here, even when it's hot, I will wear a long sleeve type loose fitting shirt, and I will wear long pants, very loose fitting, very comfortable. Always wear something, on your head. I'll go into more into that in a minute, but I don't believe it's an age thing. I don't believe it's our imagination. I don't believe in, so what is it? Is it the magnetic poles shifting? Is it the magnetic shield that typically protects the earth from the sun's radiation? Is it got holes in it? Is it breaking down? Like I said, is it the poles shifting? Is it the ozone? Is it what's in the air? What are we breathing? Scotty, can you give me more power to the shields? I'm trying, Captain. And it's Scotty, what do we got left? Just the battery, Captain. I can give you a few short bursts of impulse power, but that's all we got, Captain. Sorry, I digress. I go into Star Trek mode sometimes. I am a geek, and I will go there sometime. But anyway, we need more power to the shields. But no, back to the subject. What is it? And it seems like sometimes the air seems a little different, and I'm breathing and I'm coughing, and I don't know, it could be allergies. I don't know. But what is it? What do you guys think? Because this is like a energy sapping kind of heat. I was talking to Mrs. Dawg a while ago about it too. And she said, this is like, we spend if we spend half a day or most of our morning out here on Saturday mornings, we're like done. I mean, we're like, and then Sunday we're done. Like today's Sunday. I mean, we didn't. It's the first time I've come out the house. I mean, we're just like kicked back, like trying to recover. Now, yesterday afternoon we went and ran errands, but we were dragging a little bit. We're like, but this is like an energy draining kind of thing. Like, I don't know what that is. Like I said, it's not age. I don't think it's because we're getting older or whatever. That can play into it, but not that. We didn't feel this last year, 2 years ago even. What's in the air? What are we breathing? What's coming out? What's coming down here? But the sun feels different. It looks different. Another thing, the heat of the day used to be, and it just seemed like this when I was younger, or not that long ago. The heat of the day seemed like it was about noon to 1, 2 o'clock, right? But now, it's like the hottest part of the day seems like it's about 5 p.m., 4 or 5 p.m., maybe even 6 p.m. But that 5 p.m. range, at least here now, we're in Georgia. We're in North Georgia. But that seemed like it's the hottest part of the day. It's like unbearable, y'all. What is that? Like noon, 1 o'clock feels better than that, than the 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock. Is it one of those things I mentioned? Are we approaching end times? Close to the end of days? I don't know. What can we do about it? Protect yourself when you're out. Like I was talking about, I wear clothing, loose-fitting clothing, light colored clothing that is comfortable, that's not real tight on your skin, something to cover your head. Now, I wear it when I'm out here working. I don't wear a cap like this. I wear the wider brim type hat, the brim that goes all the way around my head. Miss Dawg does too. And that helps. I usually have one of those little cooling towels, that you can rinse with water, wring out, and it stays cool for a while around my neck. So something to protect your neck. If you watch the people who work outside, who work like construction and the road crews and all that, see how they're dressed. They're dressed very similarly. They have something covering their head. They'll have something like that drapes down and covers their neck and their skin. We must protect our skin. I go to the trying to think of the name, dermatologist once a year to get a good once over. I went actually last week, and I go once every year and just get an examination. It doesn't take but 10 minutes or so to just make sure there's nothing, no cancers, or anything that looks suspicious on my skin. So I recommend you do that if you don't do it already. I think it's more important than ever to do it now, especially as we get older. Okay, everything was fine. I went last week, everything looks good. But also cover up, while we're out to protect ourselves from that. Okay. But yeah, what is it? Is something breaking down? Like I said, are we approaching the end of times? And this made me think about, I saw an article earlier, a couple of days ago, where Russia had threatened Israel. As far as Israel, looks like they're going into Lebanon, and Russia has a presence there, or in that area, and in Syria, and Russia was threatening Israel, like, don't come in here and mess with us either, and I'm like, this seems like, and even all this year, it seems like, are we leading up to Ezekiel 38 and 39? Miss Dawg and I used to be part of a study group, and I say used to for a reason, but shortly after that war broke out over there, I made mention, I'm like, in the Middle East, I made mention just casually, in the group, I'm like, we're supposed to be able to talk here. I said, are we not seeing, and I just put the question, I didn't proclaim it. I put the question out there, kind of like, are we seeing the beginnings? Are we seeing Ezekiel 38 and 39? And you'd have thought I'd have said something like aliens are coming down to take us away or something. I'm like, do does it not even kind of occur in your brain that it could be possible? Is that is that taboo? You know? Oh, that's the Old Testament, dog. That's, you know. And I'm like, so? It's the Bible. The Old Testament is still relevant as well as the New Testament. Hello? Hello? I mean, that's the way I look at it. I was always taught. You don't think so? I mean, if we believe in the Bible, we believe all of the Bible, right? If we believe in part of it, we need to believe in all of it. Anyway, needless to say, we are no longer in that group. There's some things, some people, y'all, when it's evident, you need to turn around and run. You need to turn around and just go the other way. Okay? All right. Anyway, I had to share that. I don't know if I had shared that before. I don't think I had. Anyway. All right, I'm going to go to a passage. But let me know what you guys think about the sun thing and about the weather in general. It just seems off. It just seems off. It seems different. All right. All right. Passage is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 says, "And to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we have told you." Got an ant on me. I like this. This verse speaks to me. You know, make it your ambition to lead a quiet life. I can identify with that, y'all. I've said it before. If I didn't have to get out and work and get in certain things, I probably wouldn't leave this property very much. I think we lead a very quiet life here. We mind our own business, you know. I think that's something to strive for. Minding our own business too. I think that's important. That it makes a point to say that. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the gossip, the meddling, what are they doing over there? Ooh, I'm guilty. I can work on that. I can work on that. I can be better about that too. What's going on over there? You know, and I think part of that's fine to be aware of what's going on around you, but also minding our own business too. And working with our hands, I think there's something sacred about working with our hands and making something. I think that's why Miss Dawg and I enjoy, you know, kind of what we do out here. Although it's nothing monumental. It's nothing that big or that great. It's just making it your own, you know, and doing something on your own and with your hands. And I think it's special, and I think God likes that. I think that's something that's sacred about that. Anyway, that's just my thoughts. Share what you think about that. All right. Anyway, the ants and the bugs are getting me. But anyway, share your thoughts again. Let me know what you think about this weather. It's really weird. Let's be careful. Let's be safe out there. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.